Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, which is also known as the Quad or Asian NATO, is an informal strategic forum between the United States, Japan, India and Australia that is maintained by semi-regular summits, information exchanges, and military drills between member countries. The Quad was a failure till China started to act like a bully. China is engaged in hotly contested territorial disputes in the South and East China Seas. Beijing claims sovereignty over all of the South China Sea. But other countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Brunei, and Taiwan have counterclaims. Now everyone is ready to kick China, and is determined to build up Quad against China. China has done an excellent job in showing the world that they will play as the evil empire. So the real kick came from China, and this is how Quad was formed. So what is the main motive or purpose of Quad? The main objective of Quad Group is to ensure and sustain an open, free and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. The idea for the Quad Group is attributed to former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who mooted it in 2007. But, however, its origins can be traced back to the 2004 tsunami, when India conducted relief and rescue operations for itself and neighboring countries, and was joined by Japan, the US, and Australia. Then, when the Quad Group members started joint military exercise, which was held at an unprecedented scale involving India, Japan, Australia, Singapore, and the US. Then China issued formal diplomatic protests to the members of the Quad. So, Australia backed out from the Quad, presumably due to the pressure from the Chinese. China negatively portrays the Quad as a precursor to a militarized Quad. It was also the time when Australia refused to sell uranium to India, until of course the Liberal Party came to power. In 2012, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe brought forth the idea of Asia's democratic security diamond comprising Japan, India, the US, and Australia to protect the maritime commons from the Indian Ocean to the Western Pacific. It was in 2017, however, that the first official talks under the Quad took place in Manila, the Philippines. Core objectives of the Quad. The idea behind the Quad Group is to keep the strategic and significant sea routes in the Indo-Pacific free of Chinese influence, and to secure a rules-based global order that involve liberal trading system and freedom of navigation. Another purpose of the Quad is to offer alternative debt financing for nations in the Indo-Pacific region, and cooperation to curtail Democratic People's Republic of Korea's nuclear and missile programs and unlawful acts. Significance for India and Japan. India and Japan have a similar issue with China. China claims a significant part of Indian territory as their own, and same it does for some islands and territorial waters that belong to Japan originally. It is believed that, if Chinese aggressions increase on the borders, India can take the support of the other Quad members to counter the Chinese. India can take advantage of its naval front, unlike the continental front, where China and Pakistan surround the country and conduct strategic explorations in the Indo-Pacific region. Australia and USA are too far to have a territorial dispute. The US sees China as a potential threat to the world order, and so it wants to protect. For Australia, this elevation of the Quad presents an opportunity to turn the tide after a year of punishment from China. By joining the Quad, India has taken a significant turn in its policy for the subcontinent. It will give India a powerful platform to advance its interests in East Asia, coordinate strategies with powerful friends, and add more strength to its Act East initiative. The geostrategic term Indo-Pacific, as opposed to Asia-Pacific, has been gaining currency. Working with US and its allies in the Asia-Pacific will provide India a significant leverage in shaping US policies in Afghanistan-Pakistan to the benefit of India. Significance for India and Australia. What India wants is access of Pacific, and Australia wants access of Indian Ocean. Now, a port plays a very crucial role in development of the country. So, China played a smart game here. It has invested a huge amount to acquire ports in Horn of Africa and island near Madagascar. Now, to counter this, India and Australia signed a pact to use military bases of each other. India used the Cocos port of Australia, and Australia would get to use the Andaman and Nicobar Island and also Kochi port of India. By controlling these ports, India and Australia would block entry of many ships, as these two are entry and exit of Indian and Pacific Ocean. India also signed 7 other pacts with Australia, and also signed the military agreement with Quad Group. As we know, that South China Sea and the East China Sea are stated to be rich in minerals, oil, and other natural resources, and they are also vital to global trade. So, the main purpose of this group is to counter China. Because China is dominating the South China Sea by pressuring Southeast countries. And it became even more important to stop China because the Strait of Malacca is a key entry point to the Pacific Ocean. Currently, the Quad countries' leader arranged a virtual summit on Friday, that is on the 12th of March 2021, marking a major milestone in the evolution of a group of nations, bonded by a shared goal of containing China. Ahead of the Quad meeting on Friday, Japan's top diplomat in Australia, Yamagami Shingo, said, Tokyo supported Scott Morrison-led government's decision to call out China's unofficial campaign of economic coercion, after it slapped restrictions on wine, barley, beef, coal and other products. The Quad members will have to chart out a clearer vision for the grouping. A free and open Indo-Pacific should not merely be a slogan. The Quad group should work out a working regional consultation mechanism involving other countries. In late January 2021, when the Biden administration was being formed, rumors were afoot that the UK had been asked to join the Quad. Japanese Foreign Minister also suggested that Britain and France, too, could be involved in this grouping. Japan, Australia, the Netherlands, the United States, and the United Kingdom agreed to hold joint exercises during a British aircraft carrier group's deployment to Asian waters this year. In March 2021, Germany confirmed that it will send in August a frigate to the South China Sea. The United States hailed it, calling it a welcome support for a rules-based international order in the region. It would be the first German warship to cross the South China Sea since 2002. Security collaboration among a larger group is a challenging task, as success depends on the credibility and commitment of each participant. Greater the number of people at the table, narrower the agenda on which a consensus can be achieved. Therefore, it isn't much rational for involving other countries at this stage as a group member. But they can participate in joint military exercise. Can the Quad rise to be an Asian NATO? Yes, the Quad has the potential to become a strong coalition, like NATO, in Europe. The US has been favoring making Quad a security architecture to check China's growing assertiveness, but this is not sufficient. For a strong Quad, the members must first help Asian nations. If indeed, the US and Japan wants to create a strong alliance to counter China, it must first work on reducing their dependence on China, by sharing technology, shifting its supply chains out of China to other destinations, and opening its market to other nations. And it is necessary for Japan and Australia, with their technology advantage, to aid in this initiative. India, too, must help in the areas it has an edge, such as IT sector. Then the Asian nations may feel more confident about the alliance and its leadership. And, once the economic front is secure, in the first stage, then the Quad group can invite other countries, like France, UK, to join the group. But before that, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations will need to be roped in, if the alliance is to become a reality first and a force multiplier subsequently, in the shape of a NATO-like body.